What's up, everyone? This is Eric with HamRadioConcepts, KJ4YZI. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share on Facebook.com/HamRadioConcepts, and stay up to date when videos like this are uploaded, and learn together in this vast hobby we call amateur radio. Maybe you're clicking on this video because you're interested in the FT-991a by Yaesu. I have said in past videos, whether you follow my YouTube channel or you just found it, I've always wanted this FT-991a since it came out. And unfortunately, I can't afford one just yet, but Gigaparts.com was nice enough to lend me this radio so I could take a look at it with you guys on video and show you around this new radio and show you a lot that it can do. Now, I can touch on every single thing on this radio, but a lot of things are the same as a lot of other radios. So I want to touch on the features that are most important. You may have seen a video like this from another YouTuber about the 991a. This will be my perspective, my overview on this radio, showing the different modes and what I like about it, why I want this radio. And we're doing this together without the unboxing, but we're doing it right out of the box. So as easy as it is to learn this radio, I'm going to show you. I haven't even opened the manual yet. I don't plan on opening the manual. I want to see what this radio will do right out of the box and how easy it is to learn. So an HF radio, 160 through 10 meters, with 6 meters, with VHF, with UHF, with C4FM system fusion. All mode, all band. This is truly a shack in the box. I can replace 2 radios with this one radio. I could actually replace 3 radios. I could have an HF rig, a dual band VHF UHF rig, and my C4FM handheld or mobile all into one radio. And that's one of the main reasons that I want this radio, is that I can not only do that, but I could take this portable, I can use it at the desk, I could use it with the PC, I could use it for digital, I could use it for analog, sideband, CW, C4FM, PSK, RIDI, and so on. I hope I can cover all these things in this video because this is truly an awesome radio, I think. Thanks again for Gigaparts for letting me check this out. And if you haven't subscribed, click that button first before we go any farther. Let's check out the radio. Back of this radio has 2 SO239s, one specifically for VHF, UHF, one specifically for HF, and 6 meters. So I can use my Cushcraft 13B2 for 2 meter on this side, and I can for sideband or C4FM or repeaters on FM, or I could use my high gain vertical with my high gain loop fed array 6 meter Yagi with a switch between those two outside, and incorporate both of those with 2 different jacks. The bottom here on the bottom, you have your remote ALC. The remote, I see there's an optional FH2 remote control keypad for this radio that would plug in here. External speaker for, of course, external speaker or a audio out, but you wouldn't need that for audio out because it's got a USB port. Now the USB port can be used for the CAT control of the radio as well as audio in and out for the digital modes. So you don't have to have a sound card interface or a rig blaster or SignalLink or MFJ, anything in between. You can do it directly with the USB on the back of the radio for digital modes like PSK31, FT8, JT5, RIDI, and so on. So a driver will need to be installed, but I would imagine you can operate this remotely with software and have this radio set up at your house and operate it remotely from another location over USB. If you have rig control over USB and you can get the software working with it, I'm pretty sure you can use this remotely controlled through USB. If you use a RS-232 serial straight through cable, you can use it CAT control via serial port on the computer as well. It also says GPS, and that would be for using GPS on the Wires X or System Fusion platform so that you have latitude, longitude GPS in your radio for the Fusion digital mode. Tuner or linear, that would be for an external tuner optional that you can purchase from Yaesu, as well as the linear like a Quadra system or some other linear for automatic band switching and automatic tuning for that with that. And the RIDI and data over here on the left, so that is the 6-pin data connector that I use for my external audio interface. In case you want to use your signal link, you can plug it into there. So you have several options here. The same power cord here for DC that my other Yaesus use, so I can just replace that without having to run a new power cord. Automatic temperature controlled fan on the back, and a really heavy duty chassis in this radio. And one thing I like about this radio also, if I could show you, it's got a carrying handle on the side here, if you can see that, but it's also got the wire foot stand on the bottom, or not wire, but the foot stand, kickstand on the bottom comes with it. So you don't have to buy an optional foot kit from some other place to keep this raised up on the desk. You can have this thing raised up or sitting flat on the desk with the kickstand that comes on it. How about that display, guys, huh? It looks brilliant. You know, my camera won't do it justice, but the color coming off of this 3.5-inch TFT touchscreen display on the front of this radio is just spectacular. Easy on the eyes in the daytime, the nighttime, inside or out. If you take it with you at field day or you take it inside on your desk, the colors and the display of this radio is just phenomenal. Looking at the front of the radio real quick before we get into any more functions, power button, key, phones. A key would be for your straight key or paddle, headphones, and an 8-pin modular mic jack, which is compatible with the Yaesu mics you have already that are 8-pin. It does come with the standard MH38A HX, or the standard microphone that I have in my FT-817, but you can get an optional DTMF mic to go with it for the C4FM or VHF, UHF modes. So the knob on the front has a really nice feel to it. I've noticed that online there's a lot of people that are picky about the knob. I kind of am. I like this knob that feels a little weighted, that I can, throw around when I'm scrolling through bands and stuff. Now, there are some other radios coming out that are of lower quality that have knobs that click, and a lot of people have a problem with that, and I can see why. It doesn't really bother me to the point where I won't buy a radio, but it's not as free-flowing as this nice knob here. And I can adjust the tensioner in the back to keep that thing real tight. Some people like it tight. Some people like it where it's just loose. Now, the AF gain, RF gain, and clarifier knobs on the here with the multi-select knob in the front. So everything is accessible that you need immediately, like your RF gain, your volume, and your selection. But a lot of the menu functions are tucked away in the menu, but they're easily accessible with a few button pushes. In fact, one thing that really gets me sometimes is with these new radios, everybody that gets a new radio wants to be able to know how to use that radio quickly. For myself, if I order a radio and I pay this money and it shows up at the door and I have to learn it all weekend before I can play with it, nobody wants to learn the radio all weekend. This thing is easy enough that I haven't even opened the manual, like I've done the same thing with the IC7300 video. I can open this thing up. I can get to it within minutes and know what I'm doing, and then I can go reference the manual for all the little bells and whistles that I can adjust for my signal to make it optimal. For instance, if I wanted to go to 20 meters, I turn the radio on, I go to band, I tap the band I want, I go to mode, and I change the mode. Upper side, CW, that's it. I can start scrolling here, and away I go. The majority of the settings in here would work perfect just the way they are without having to tailor them to your needs. Now, if I wanted to go right to digital modes, like PSK, or for instance, I wanted to go to 10 meter, and I wanted to go to digital for FT8. That's it. I fire up Digital Master 780, a Ham Radio Deluxe, away I go. It's that easy. If I wanted, another thing that I really like is on the front of this. Now, my Yaesu radio is menu driven, but a lot less informative on the screen. So what I like here is the fact that I can go from QRP on a FT8 digital mode to a full 100 watts on sideband and adjust my power right here. Tap the power, adjust the power. To me, that's a big deal because sometimes I forget what I set the power at, and I come on the radio the next day, and I go right to phone. I'm chasing 6 meters and find out that I forgot it's on 5 watts, so I'm making contacts, or trying to, at QRP level on 6 meters. But then I have to go into the menu, go to the power setting, and dial it back or dial it up. Here I can, that fast, change it. Or if I'm on upper side on 6 meters, I can change my mic gain right here, this fast. All right. And with the mic gain, there are plenty of features inside where you can adjust with a parametric EQ for highs, mids, and lows. If you're just using the EQ in the radio, you can tailor that to your voice as well. The meter is a signal meter right now with the received signal, but I can change it. SWR, let's see, we'll go to, power output like everybody's used to. I can change it to ALC for my digital modes right there to see if I'm overdriving or clipping with the digital modes. I can change it to SWR if I wanted to see if my SWR is maintaining flat, which I might add has a built-in tuner right here on the radio. Now, it says on the Yaesu website, high-speed tuner. I will say that it's a little slower than my tuner in the FT-450 and a little bit slower than an MFJ auto tuner I have. So, holding the tune button, it takes about 5 to 6 seconds to tune that antenna that's just about flat on 30 meters. So, not really a big deal, but if you're looking for an instantaneous tuner, that's not it. But, again, not really a big deal. It does maintain memories, so if I do go to 20 meters and I go back to 30 meters, it'll maintain that memory of tune there. So I don't have to retune every time I change bands. A lot of people ask about the waterfall. Man, that waterfall just looks spectacular. The spectrum analyzer or the spectrum graph and the waterfall. And the big difference with the 991 versus the 991A is that the 991 had this graph, but it was only a snapshot. It wasn't real time. So the 991A was an upgrade so that you can watch this graph continuous in a real-time fashion. For instance, that's what it looked like on the 991. Not bad, but every time you hit the sweep button, it would sweep and give you an idea. But the contacts come and go, so you need a real-time display. So the 991A allows you to have the real-time flowing display waterfall. And if I could use that to scroll right to the contacts, this looks like some FT8 on 30 meters. All right, I could hear the digital modes right there. I could see on the graph what is noise versus what is signal. And that's just, this day and age, every radio should have one of those, I would think. But again, the color is not really showing as brilliant as it is on my camera. So besides all the other features that radios have, I can show you that it has VFOA, VFOB, but nowadays a lot of radios have that, so I won't waste the time into that. A lot of radios have a clarifier. A lot of radios have, the split operation. This encompasses all of that. What I want to show you is going into the menu. Now you have a quick function list here. The function menu would do your basic stuff if you were in wires X for digital mode, C4FM, VHF, UHF, repeater mode, and such. Channels for memory mode and all that. But if I go into the menu button, now there's a lot of menus that are on this radio that are a lot easier to display on here than it would be on some other radios. You can clearly read in the menu what each section is. They don't abbreviate it too much, but they're all numbered, so I can use the multi-knob here to turn and go through and see all the features for noise blinker, for GPS. GPS is primarily for the fusion side of the radio. When you're operating system fusion, you'd use GPS for location information for talking on digital C4FM system fusion. Parametric EQ for your mic, different repeater shifts, different digital functionality for the digital modes like RIDI, PSK, and such. Sideband, contour level for the DSP filtering in here. Waterfall color, you can change the waterfall color. You can change a lot of stuff in here. Now, again, what I like to do is get right to operating a radio, then go back and reference the manual and go through and tweak the nuts and bolts as to how I want the radio to perform. But it's all in here, and it's pretty easy to see. You can even set tuner internal or external, Vox gain, Vox on or off. So a lot of AGC wires functions and such. A lot of menu functions in there. Not too confusing, but very accessible. And when we get into the wires section of that, it'll show you here that you'll have other list of wires X nodes when you're going through a repeater and such. But so far, I'm impressed with the radio. I really am. Let's go into the next section. Let's check out the VHF UHF side of it. for the Wires X System Fusion C4FM part. So another big feature that I wanted this radio is because I'm still a proponent of Yaesu System Fusion over the other digital modes. I just love the way Fusion sounds. I like the features that it has. So Yaesu System Fusion C4FM is built into this radio. A couple repeaters around my area that are on Wires X. Mine is currently down at the moment, but there's another one in Vero. And let me show you the Wires X real quick and the functionality of what it looks like on the front of the screen. So right now I'm on 145130 VHF mode. I'm in the digital mode. So basically I can go band 145 and then mode C4FM. Now in the menu up here, the function, you hit function and you have some stuff in here like group monitor, Wires X, automatic mode select. You also have that down here, digital narrow or voice wide, group monitor, and automatic mode select. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit function and the Wires X button. Simply doing that is going to send a repeater a signal to access Wires X. It'll come back. Might be my antenna. Let's try again. I'm using a horizontally polarized Yagi. There it is. Okay. So there's the AB4AZ repeater in Vero Beach. And now I can go into favorite, a favorite room, or all rooms, or search and direct. I'm going to hit all. And it's going to download a list of all the rooms on Wires X so that I have them all on my screen in front of me. That time it didn't. I think my antenna, being that it's a horizontally polarized Yagi, is having a little issue, especially since I'm not, there we go, facing the repeater. Okay, so I can go to the, America Link. Shows me how many people are currently in the rooms. And again, a whole video can be separately done on Wires X alone. If you're familiar with Wires X, I'm just showing you the number of people in the front here, but it says 999 rooms that it downloaded. So as you go to the 20th room, it's going to send a request and download another 20. So it goes by 20 per page or per receive. There's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I'm going to go back just because everybody knows the America link, and I'm sure there's people on there at the moment. So I'm going to go to the America link here. Alabama link's another popular one. America link is here, and I'm going to hit select, and it sends a request and says connect to the American link. There it goes. It beeped. We are on.
Nothing heard. Kilo Delta 4 Whiskey Mike X-ray monitoring.
Kilo Delta 4 Whiskey Mike X-ray from Kilo Juliet 4 Yankee Zulu India, Florida. Let's see if I'm making contact with him.
DOJ 4, this is KD4WMX. Name is Ken, Kill and Liver in Virginia.
Well, hello, Ken in Virginia. Name is Eric here in Florida. I just wanted to, I was making a section on a YouTube video on this 991 Alpha here. And you were there, so I figured I'd jump in real quick on Wires X and say hello from Florida. I know you guys are dealing with a lot up there currently. Back to you. KJ4YZI, testing out this new 991 Alpha. That's my MD100 mic on there. I'm about 3 feet away from it, so.
Well, this is KD4WMX, Kilo Delta 4 Whiskey Mike X-ray. And just how to do it on Wires X in the American room. I'm pretty new to this Wires X stuff, so I'm just having a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, there definitely is a lot to learn on this Wires X, and it's pretty fun, but I won't hold you, being that I'm recording some video here. Just wanted to say hello. 7-3, and have a good one. We'll talk to you again next time I jump in here in American Link. KJ4YZI, clear, and 7-3. So it's that fast to get on Wires X. 50 watts max on VHF UHF.
This is KJ4FM Max 33U down in Florida. And we'll look for you in American Link. KJ4FM Max monitoring.
The speaker sounds pretty good. 50 watts on VHF UHF. 100 watts on HF and 6 meters. All the Wires X functionality in this radio, and probably a little bit easier to use than my FT-1D. With the GPS, they'd be able to see where I'm at, how far I am. And, you'd want to put your call sign in here in the function. You can't do that when you're in Wires X, but to get out of here, just hit disconnect. It's going to disconnect me from the Wires X room that I'm in. All right. And that's it. So I could also pull up another room here or just go back, and I'm out of Wires X that fast. PC compatibility for digital modes and Ham Radio Deluxe, Digital Master 780. So it's all there. And I'll try to make another video here, making a couple phone contacts on this radio. And thanks again for Gigaparts for letting me check this radio out. Subscribe again. Check out the links in the description. And thank you for watching. 7-3 from KJ4YZI.